Tonight, we see Star Wars through the eyes of India, the United States / France, and South Africa.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another Visions-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with week 3 of Star Wars Visions, and we're going over episodes 7, 8, and 9.
Yep.
Yep. So this is the last week of Visions. We did 3 weeks, so this is the last week. But this quick little announcement, next week, the Tuesday after Memorial Day, we are not recording. We're not recording next week at all. We're taking a break and
busy over the holiday.
Yeah, you guys have been getting a lot. You were getting 2 episodes a week for a while. Then you got Star Wars Celebration. You guys got spoiled. So we're taking a week off. And then
also there's a lot of content you can catch up on.
Right. And also in 2 weeks, so which would be the first Tuesday in June, which would be June 6th. So is that D-Day, right? Or that's the 7th?
7th.
I can't remember. But on Tuesday the 6th in June, Andrew will be back.
Yes.
So as many of you already know, Andrew is coming back once a month, the first week of every month. And so we'll be doing a catch-up with Andrew. So all the shows.
4th of July.
Huh?
I said we probably need to talk about the 4th of July. Because that's on Tuesday.
Is it? Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me. I'm off work.
Well,
maybe we'll do it in the afternoon or something before all the fireworks.
Here, but
oh, yeah.
Anyway,
you just derailed it. But anyway, Andrew is back, and we're going to be doing a catch up with Andrew. So all the shows that he missed while he was gone. So the Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Andor, Tales of the Jedi, Visions Volume 2, Bad Batch, and Mando Season 3. He's going to be giving his thoughts on all of that. So that's probably going to be a long episode. We're going to try and go fast because we can't sit and talk a half hour for every show. So
maybe we should tell him to give us his top 2 episodes from every season.
No, we're just going to do general discussions of the season.
Oh, I feel like that would...
No, that's lame because we want to hear his thoughts on the whole season. And so
it could be fast. He could be like Vision Season 2. It was cool. All right, and that's it.
No. We want good conversation. We're not trying to save time.
So, either way, buckle up for that one. That one's gonna be probably a 2-hour episode. And a banger for sure.
Probably be pushing 3 hours on that episode. So,
oh Lord. So yeah, buckle up.
But I'll be moderating and keeping things going along. Hopefully, where we can maybe stick to 15, 20 minutes a show.
Okay, I like that.
That way, however many we listed off, 6 shows or whatever. If we do 20 minutes, that's 2 hours. So,
okay.
But that being said, send in your voicemails too, because Andrew, I'm sure, misses the voicemail time. So send in your voicemails for that. Whether you've never sent one in or we sent in a million, we would love to hear from you.
Also, that gives you 2 weeks to send in voicemails. So it should be no excuses.
2 weeks. So
no excuses. If you're out there and you're like, oh, I haven't sent in a voicemail yet, you have 2 weeks to figure out what you're gonna ask Andrew.
Yep. Or us. That's not just for Andrew, but
kind of is.
But yeah, so we're excited for that. And then who knows what it will be like after.
Maybe July will be the first EU with Andrew.
Hopefully.
That'd be cool.
I don't have anything planned. So keep that in mind. But yeah, also, just as a side note, EmpireCon, we always forget till the end to mention it, but EmpireCon,
yes.
If you want to come meet us and hang out with us and other fans, come to EmpireCon in August, 18th through 20th, Friday through Saturday in August of this year. And we'll be hanging out, doing 3 days of events, then hanging out, movie rental. We're going to go Mall of America. We'll go Wesley Andrews. We're going to have a hangout time at a party room and play games and do a live podcast and eat food and all that stuff. So it's what?
You're not going to want to miss it.
3 months away. We're less than 3 months away. So, and you have a little less than 2 months to sign up for it. So keep them coming. Keep signing up, guys. And let's have a bunch of fun. More the merrier. The party room has a 98-person capacity. So
let's crush that number.
So like Drew and me would take up 2 spots. So we got spots for 96 people. So sign up, check those flights, check gas prices, drive in, whatever. We'd love to hang out with you, get to know you, make some memories.
Yeah.
But that's that. But before we jump into our breakdowns, we kind of got some sad news. Ray Stevenson has passed away. And if you don't know who that is the actor for the new character in the Ahsoka series, Balin, the old guy with the white beard and a lightsaber. So he passed away. And he also did the voice of Gar Saxon in the animated shows, which I was just reminded of that yesterday or something. But like, I don't know if I knew that already. I can't remember, but
I don't think we did. Like, we didn't talk about it.
Right.
The Ahsoka breakdown, but
so
either way, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, and he was what, 57 or something like that, 58. So
he was not that old, and they still haven't released what happened. But I guess that really doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is it's sad because like we didn't even get we're about to enjoy this person as a character, and we're gonna view his character a little bit different. Not in the fact that like it could change the outcome of his character, more the fact that, like, you're gonna view the highlight of this person.
This might be his last role. I don't know if he had other things that are coming out later, but
I read today that he was he was filming a film currently.
Oh.
So.
All right. So
either way, it's really sad.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool seeing him in one of his last roles in the Star Wars. Like, if you're gonna go out one of your last ones, Star Wars, it's a big deal. So this is like the biggest Star Wars show that's anticipated show that we have. So
yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting. Like how is that gonna play out to the future of Star Wars? Because like, does he die in this season? Like, does it just happen to work out that way? And not work out like in a good way, but like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or did he survive and has like a role in the future of the Mandoverse? Like, you know, it's going to be kind of, we don't know what's going to happen. So it's going to be very interesting, like watching his character, because it's like the stakes are different now because we know we're not going to see him again. So it's sad, but it's part of life. And so we'll see how it plays out.
So yeah, our thoughts are with his family and his loved ones, because that's too young to go for sure. And also, like, he could have blew up from this role. Like, his whole family, his kids' family, you know, they could have changed.
Right. Because I know he's like, I haven't looked at his like filmography, but like I know he's been around for a while doing a lot of stuff. So he's probably in bunch of stuff.
Yeah, he's probably in, but like never like this is a bigger main character,
right?
I feel like, so kind of just feel for him and his family at this time. So send good vibes his family's way.
Yep. All right. Well, Star Wars Visions. So might as well jump into it. So the first episode we're going over tonight, the Bandits of Golak or Gulak. I can't remember how they say it in the show. But this is 88 pictures out of India. So this was one of the ones I was very excited for, just because from the trailer, it was like, this is going to be an intense episode. And I didn't know what to expect, because like, it's going to be Indian. Like, it's
Yeah.
Like, what are they gonna do? Because they're very particular about their movies. Like, I don't know if you've seen like any action
Oh yeah.
like they're nuts, like over the top. Like they don't care
Uh-huh.
about physics. They don't care about anything. They
Nope.
just if they want to do something, they just do it because they don't care. So it's always
There's like
fun.
for a while there was that reel of that guy walking the car like flying over his head and
Yeah.
like they go all out when it comes to their action, but also when it comes to like just Bollywood in general, like they're dancing and they're singing and stuff. It's always really entertaining and actually really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was excited to see this episode. Cause like, what are they gonna do with animation? Because I'm like, oh, it's always like all these countries are like, oh yeah, other countries can do animation other than
Yeah.
the United States and Japan. Like, so it's like it's just interesting to like see it. But Drew, what are your overall thoughts of the Bandits of Golok?
Overall, I liked it. The thing I kind of took me out of it is it just felt like we were watching Star Wars in India. Like it didn't feel like a galaxy at all. Like it just felt like we're in India, and they
But
can
that
use
just
the
makes it
force.
more real, right? Like this is like could happen like in our world.
It took me out of it a lot.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Oh.
it took me a while to look past that. I didn't really like it at first, but overall the animation style is really good. I really thought it was really cool. And it was, I don't know, I thought it was really sweet because like at parts it almost looked like it was like real, almost like there's certain angles that they use that I was like, oh wow, I forget that this is animation. Like it was really well done. And then the whole thing with the lady and her cane and it became her lightsaber, and it was overall the story was really cool. It just the only negative thing for me, it took me out of it when it just felt like I was watching India in Star Wars.
All right. All right. Well, I really liked this episode, and I liked it because it was in India.
Interesting.
Like I just think it was cool. They really embraced their culture, and like this is our culture, and we want to do it, portray it to the world through the eyes of Star Wars, the lens of Star Wars, I should say. And if you watch the behind the scenes, like they're very upset. We're just gonna take our culture and put it in Star Wars. We don't care. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
So that's just cool. I'm like, this is who we are, and we're gonna do it. Like we don't care what anybody thinks, and I really, really like that. They just fully embrace their culture with this. Even though I was like watching my reaction, I was like, I made those comments like, oh, they're just going all out.
Yeah.
With just doing their culture.
And I feel like that is one of those things where it's either you like it or you don't. And for me,
right.
I didn't really like it at first. I kind of got over it towards the end. I really started to enjoy the story and the animation more than focusing on like it was just India. But at first, I was like, I don't think I like this, and I started to like it towards the end. But
It
it's
reminded me
definitely one of
of
those things.
like an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, that too.
I thought
Like
it
I'm
was
actually really excited for that movie to come out.
the new one.
Personally, yeah.
I heard it's like one of the worst movies ever made.
How do we know that? It's like still a month out.
People have seen it already. I've heard that it's terrible, but I don't know.
But from what?
Because
Critics?
it's an 80-year-old guy that's
Eh,
walking around. He can't do stunts. He
at
can't
the
do
end of the day,
anything.
it's still Harrison Ford, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
And also, critic reviews are always bad. You gotta base off of audience reviews, not critic reviews. Especially when it
that is true. But sometimes when
comes
like
to Star Wars
when
and
movies
stuff.
are terrible in like critic reviews, there's also terrible to.
Like I'm pretty sure the critic review of Mario was bad, but then the audience review is like
Okay,
a
Mario's
96.
a little different because that's just
How?
every 40-year-old person living their childhood. Like,
Dude, Mario was amazing. That movie was so good.
I don't know, I haven't seen it.
I just saw it over the weekend, and I was like, I'll watch this like 4 times in a row. Like it was so good. Don't sleep on it. It's good.
But anyway, Visions. So yeah, I liked it. I liked the story. I like that it's a brother and sister on the run because their village was attacked by. They probably didn't know. I don't think they knew what happened, but they're in hiding, like their sister, because the little girl's sister is force sensitive, so they're on the run. They're being hunted in a sense, but they don't really know it. I don't really think they just know they got to run, but they don't know why or what's going on. It takes place during the Empire time, so that's an interesting thing because a lot of their stories, like it's either not, it's just whatever. It's kind of like it's a general thing in the Star Wars universe, but for these Visions episodes, I mean, so it was cool. Like they're just right in the middle of the Empire time period, and they're just they get hunted down by an Inquisitor. I like the Inquisitor. Do you think the Inquisitor was cool?
Okay, I like the Inquisitor. I thought it was cool, and
I think
it was
looked
definitely
cool.
part of their culture, but it looked like it was still cool. Like I don't know, the Inquisitor, like I liked it a lot.
Yeah, he looks cool, but I just kind of like the personality of this Inquisitor. It was just sounded cool. I just liked his persona.
I agree. I think this Inquisitor was one of the best Inquisitors that we've seen so far.
Yep.
In all of Star Wars. I really liked them.
Yeah, the Purge troopers with them were pretty cool.
Yep.
That's like I think we saw that in the trailer, but
we did.
But like it's just cool. I wish we kind of saw them in action, but because we didn't really see the Purge troopers in action, but
kind of just walked around. But
yeah. So they
once I saw that, I was like, okay, I'm in. All right, let me buckle up. This might be good.
Yeah, so they go to a town that they believe that where they can be safe. First, girls like them can be the girl can be safe. Like so, it's like a safe haven for Force users or something. But I still they still don't really fully understand what's going on. Seems like when they get there. But yeah, so the Inquisitor tracks them down because the girl used the Force to take the flute on the plane or on the train, and so that's how they got discovered. So it's kind of like, girl, why are you doing this? Although she did, I freaked out. Like, girl, stop! Like, why would you do that? But she said they don't really know what's going on, so it's hard for her to know not to do stuff like that. So, but yeah, I like the interrogation scene when he's sitting down with the brother and sister, the Inquisitor, just asking him questions, and he's like using the Force to like move the chairs forward, like the table forward, and like I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
And I really like the fight, the lightsaber fight. I was really one thing I was kind of confused about was the like when everything just started like spinning around and like floating around, like because a sandstorm hit right at that moment, so I was like, the sandstorm is doing this. But like, is the Inquisitor also like using the Force to like move all these things around? Like, I was a little confused on that because I was like,
I just thought it was a sandstorm the whole time.
Maybe, I don't know. It could be.
Storm's coming, honey.
Yeah.
You better get home quick.
Did they say that the storm's coming? Because I know they mentioned like a sandstorm, but did they say that line?
Storm's coming, yeah. And
okay. I always forget that line from episode 1. Like every time you say it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's from that movie. I can never remember that on my own.
Oh, that's like I had it as a soundbite for a little bit.
But yeah, it was cool seeing an old lady with dual wielding sabers. Like that was just cool. I always love dual wielding. That's one of the reasons why I love Ahsoka so much, because I just love what you can do with 2 sabers. And so she put in work. She was the boss and slit that guy's throat. It was just really quick. And I'm like, how was that enough to kill the guy? But maybe he was just an alien, and then that one spot was like, I'm like, bro, put a little pad right there, but that's like your most vulnerable spot.
Yeah.
But like the one thing that I wanted to like mention about the animation style, because you said you really liked it.
I did.
So like the first time I watched it was on my reaction video where I was watching on my
monitor,
second monitor, and I was like, man, this is really good. Like this is amazing. Like part of me thought it was some of this like motion cap in the face. Like is this like I was like, wow, this is really cool. But then I watched on my 4K TV, and it's a little. This is the best way I can describe it. Is this one, we should say that the animation style is very similar to Clone Wars animation style. So I latched onto that. But I was thinking, like, okay, it's kind of like Clone Wars animation. And then I was thinking the quality of the animation is like this. It's like they took season 6 quality animation of Clone Wars and then perfected it.
Yeah.
So it's not season 7 quality, but this is like what? It would have been like 2012 or whatever when season 7 got canceled, or season 6 was canceled by Disney because that's when they took it over, but they just released what was made. And so that would have been 2012 animation like abilities. And so it's kind of like they took that technology, but then they've been working on it for the past 10 years and they've perfected it. So that's kind of like
there's like certain scenes, like the train scene with her and her brother was like, there's parts where he kind of looked like glitchy almost. Like there's certain things that when it was super sunny out, it looked not the best, but when it was darker, like the fight scene and stuff like that, I felt like the animation style pulled through a lot better. And it could just be like, I think it's easier to control it when you can hide the certain glitches in the dark better.
I think the environments is what was really well, but then like close-ups on the face, you could see kind of it was like they were trying to mimic like facial capture mocap. Like the movements on the faces were very smooth, and that's why when I was watching my janky 1080 resolution monitor, it looked a lot more like those mocap faces. But then when you watch on a bigger TV, like you can tell that it wasn't motion cap. It was like they're trying to mimic that. So
like the scene that sticks out to me is the one that we saw in the trailer, was when that guy was ratting on her. Like, I saw it to the stormtrooper in like that alleyway. It was really, really well done. But then there's like the scene when they're on the train. It was like not the best.
Because like that candy, the Luby or whatever they call it. Like
I think so.
Sometimes like those look like photorealistic. Like they just made that candy and like put it in there. So, like that looked really good. But other times it was kind of like
it was weird for sure. Like if it was all as good as like some of the stuff, I feel like it would have been really, really cool. But there's definitely parts where it kind of felt like they cut, not that they cut corners, but maybe I don't
know. But I really like the ending too, like how they had to like part ways. The brother and sister had to part ways, and like the best thing for the girl is to go into this underground Jedi temple and join others that are in hiding, and he has to go his way. And so, and then
we get a lot of that in this season. You notice that?
What?
We get a lot of separating friends and family in this season. Like the 3 episodes tonight, they separate all 3 episodes. A friend or a family member separates from each other.
Well, the next one, the pit, they get separated and they come. Well, wait, actually, no, that's not true. Yes, and they come back and then they get taken away. But
you know though?
That's just part of Star Wars. People die, and you have to overcome. That's
true.
90% of Star Wars, right there.
No, I just like noticed that like there's a lot of episodes in this season where people are parting ways.
And I think every episode, except for Journey to a Darkhead, is a female lead. Journey to a Darkhead is just a guy and a girl as the lead characters, but everyone else.
Oh, you're right.
Female lead. I didn't realize that till like 2 weeks after I watched.
I didn't realize that until literally you just said it.
Yep. And that's when storytelling is done right, when you don't realize the gender of the lead.
It doesn't matter.
Because it's just a good written character, a good story that happens to be a female lead or a male lead. Like you don't notice it. So
yeah, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So that's why a lot of these episodes are really good, because they're just they're very good, well-written episodes, and you just get into that story very get drawn into the story, I should say. But yeah, that's Bandits of Golok from 88 Pictures in India. Anything else, Drew, about this episode?
No.
All right, cool. Well, before we get into our next episode, there was someone in the background of this episode during that whole Inquisitor fight that we missed. And it's funny because she had time to send in a voicemail to give us a message. So let's take a listen to a message from Lucy, who was in the middle of that chaos of that fight, and she has a message for us. So let's take a listen.
Hey everyone, Fictional Lucy here. If you're wondering what all that shooting is in the background, that's because I'm in a laser battle. So I need you to hear this very important message. You see, I'm from the Voicemail Cinematic Universe, which is an original Star Wars audio drama created by Empire Radio fans through voicemails. This battle is really intense, but you can't see the true drama of it since this is just audio. That's what I need your help with. You need to illustrate the VCU. That's right, I need a picture to go along with every voicemail in this story. Any type of media, Lego, painting, digital, anything. Just go into the description of this episode and find a link that takes you directly to a Google Doc. It'll tell you exactly how to submit your work. So please, start illustrating and get me out of this mess. I really hate this guy, but in the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Yep. So I think we got like 10 more voicemails left to illustrate. And Dazdor, he's just taking it upon himself to get it done. He keeps sending in more. So, but you still have an opportunity. Click the link in the description, click on that, read, find the ones that are available. They're not crossed out, and pick one and do it. And what you can do is, so that Dazdor doesn't steal it from you, you can shoot an email and say, hey, I want to do this one, and I'll cross it off for you so no one else does it. And I'll give you like a 2-week due date before I put it back on. But yeah.
How many is left? It's pretty close, right?
I think it's like 10 or something like that. So
get on it.
There's one really easy one that anyone can do. It's the second one on the list. Really, it's this Will and his droid, I think. So anyone, like, you can, if you don't have to be the best artist in the world, just say, hey, I want to do that one, and I'll mark it off for you, and I'll give you like 2-week due date on that before I put it back. But we love to see more stuff, because right now it's over half of these are going to be Dazdor, so it's really good stuff, but variety is also good. So go check that out if you haven't submitted any art yet. Or if you have and you want to do another one, you can do it too.
True.
But that being said, let's jump to the next episode. Episode 8, which is The Pit by Dart. They said it in the behind the scenes. I don't know how to say this Japanese word, so I can't. Shtajio. I don't know how to say that. But they paired with Lucasfilm to do this episode. So
this is a Japanese and Lucasfilm
partnership. Did you watch the behind the scenes on this one?
I did not.
So this one is very interesting. Why there's this partnership. So the guy who wrote this episode, had this idea for this episode, works for Lucasfilm. I think he was he was just like what did he say? A footage and sound manager or something like that.
Oh, weird.
There's some random guy that just makes sure like all the film and stuff that they have, like the physical film is all taken care of and everything's all like in order and organized. And he's just that guy. And he's like, he had an idea for a Star Wars story, told his manager at Lucasfilm, and then he like gave it up to that guy gave it to his boss, and it worked. It's all the way up to Kathleen Kennedy. And Kayla, like, I like this story.
Sounds like she would like the story.
And so then they're like, okay, this would be a great episode for a Star Wars Visions thing. So now we got to find a studio that would want to do this. And so.
Gotcha. So that was like the collab.
That was a collab. So which is interesting though about this anime studio in Japan is I think they said it was the first / only all black owned anime studio in Japan.
Yeah.
And then the guy who wrote this is also black. And so he's like, these two sides, cool. They all work together to like make this story because the main character in this is a black guy. And it's kind of like,
well, and the girl,
there's a lot of black characters, but there's also other characters, but they kind of wanted to put this like story of like slavery and oppression to like in the Star Wars universe. So it's like they worked really close to Lucasfilm. So this guy, I forget his name, worked with the studio and they worked together to make this episode. They collabed with this. So that's just a cool. So I need to get a job in sanitation at Lucasfilm, and maybe I can
pitch some ideas.
Pitch some ideas.
Yeah, I kind of wish I would have watched that. Maybe it would have changed the placement on my list.
I would just love. That'd be cool to get a job at.
But you hate California.
Yeah, but they got remote jobs. I don't know.
It would be cool. Yeah, like that studio they did Attack on Titan, which is one of the best animes of all time. By far, hands down, my favorite. So I had really, really, really high hopes for this episode, and I hated this episode.
You hated it?
I hated. I literally was like trying not to fall asleep when I was watching this, and I was just like, "This is just." I get it. I understand it. I think it's interesting. Like I said, I wish I kind of would have watched the behind the scenes because maybe I would have appreciated more. Because I do really think that's a cool like story from their point of view, but from a Star Wars point of view, I was like annoyed there was no aliens in the pit. It didn't really make much sense in the Star Wars realm because most like slaves and stuff aren't humanoid, like straight up humans. A lot of the slaves in Star Wars universe are mainly alien species. So that kind of threw me off. And then there was no force at all.
That's not true at all. At the very end, the girl was force sensitive.
Okay. Ish. Kind of, sure.
What do you mean
like,
kind
of? It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
It's like either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. There's no kind of ish.
Well, that's really not true either. But
what?
Because you could be. I'm not gonna get into that. But anyways, like she didn't do anything with it. Like it had no effect on the episode at all. Like it didn't matter. Like she was able to see the kyber crystal differently at the end, and like that was it. Like it literally did not get them out of the situation that they were in. And like I thought it was like the coolest part was when the guy died because I thought that was super brutal and intense. And then besides that, I just thought the episode was just a waste of time. Like I just didn't like it. Oh, I was just like, all right. From the hopes that I had going into it, like this anime studio's amazing. Their concept, the art looked cool. Like the animation was good, but I just thought it didn't feel like Star Wars at all to me, and it just kind of just felt really, really, really short for me. Like really short.
Dang,
it was the longest 19 minutes of my life.
What?
When it comes to Star Wars. For me, it was probably worse than the Bad Batch speeder episode.
What? Are you kidding me? Dude, what are you talking about? How is it that?
It didn't. It's just nothing. It didn't feel like Star Wars besides the people were
okay, you have the Empire, you have kyber crystals, you have slave labor, you have rebellion, so people rise up against the Empire. It's literally classic Star Wars.
Did they rise up or did they kick them out of the way even though they were getting fed? The Empire was feeding them.
Right, but when they saw the injustice that the Empire of the
in that
Empire.
moment, but they probably still didn't give them proper help. Like they probably didn't really.
You can't say that.
I'm just saying, like all these rich people that came to this planet because the Empire built them a city because of these.
Yeah, but how many rich people care about poor people? But these people actually came and fixed the problem.
Because it was outside their door. They didn't want them out there.
Okay, literally every rich neighborhood, there's homeless people like a mile away. Like it's
facts. That's why they all complain about them the most.
Yeah, but this group of people cared. They rose up against the Empire and they freed them. They freed the planet.
I think I would have liked it more if they would have killed them instead of just let the Empire people just leave. Because I just thought it was stupid. Like, oh, get out of my way. I'm going to go grab these people from the hole. And they're like, oh, we should leave because they're going to all go crazy on us. Let's just leave. And they left. It was just like, after they just threw a body into a giant pit. Like, the concept was cool. I just think because they were all humans, it kind of threw me off. Didn't really, that's like not Star Wars to me.
Okay, but the Empire is the Empire is all people. Usually, we have Thrawn. He's the only alien in the Empire.
That you're backing on my point.
But my point is, you've seen it where you can see large groups of characters that are not aliens.
No, but my point is because the Empire is all humans. That's why they enslave aliens, Jeremiah. And that's why Thrawn is
That's not true.
No, it is. Because the Empire is supposed to always represent Nazi Germany. That is literally what George...
Right.
And
but they still...
instead of picking a color of a human, they were like, most of the slaves and most of this trouble in the galaxy is from aliens because it's a completely different species than them. And that's why Thrawn is so cool. That's literally one of the cool things about Thrawn is because he is an alien. He was able to get that high.
But what about in Andor in the prison? There was no aliens in there. Those are all people.
But there were also people that did things to get into that position. Like Andor wasn't innocent. Like,
right,
you know what I mean? Like they did, granted, yes, they did like not let people serve their time. But my thing was like, this was literally like they just had human slaves. And it kind of just like, it doesn't feel like Star Wars to me. Because I think at least 5 aliens.
I don't know. I thought it felt very Star Wars, like seeing how oppressive the Empire is. Like,
well, yeah,
they literally had them dig a hole. Fine. And then when they were done with them, they left, and the people were stuck at the bottom of the hole.
Yeah,
that is 100% something the Empire would do. Like, oh, you're free now.
I'm not saying that's wrong. I'm just saying it didn't really feel like, to me, like that part didn't feel like Star Wars.
I'm not saying this was one of my favorite episodes, but I don't think it was that bad.
That's why I was saying that I wish I would have watched the behind the scenes after, because then my view of it probably would have changed a little bit. To see like why they did it like that. But I don't know. I just thought
it was very Star Wars. I thought it was 100% like what the Empire would do, how they treated people, how they were looking for kyber crystals, like that's Star Wars, like people being oppressed, and then the whole people rising up against the Empire and they win. Like that's classic Star Wars to me. Like I said, I'm not saying this is one of my favorite episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt a little, I don't know,
lackluster.
I don't know. Like it reminded me of something like an animated movie from the 80s. Like, I don't know.
Oh.
It was just the way it kind of, like with the music, like there was like 80s music in it. Sounding music, and like that scene, like when they're digging a hole and then like the city's being built and like all the traffic, like it was like that music was like, this is like a scene from an 80s movie, like with the music and like time lapse, and it just felt very 80s to me in the style. For some reason I kept thinking of like cartoons, like movies from the 80s, like just like
80s
with like those style. I don't know. Like,
or you mean 90s?
no, 80s, not 90s.
Well, I'm trying to think of anything cartoony that came out in the 80s. That's not like Bugs Bunny.
Well, first of all, Bugs Bunny is from like the 50s and 60s. So,
well, yeah, but
but like I don't know, like what is that Hobbit cartoon?
Oh,
like that. Like it's very like very detailed 2D, like not like a kid's
yeah.
one, but like a very detailed.
The thing is, the animation really felt like anime. Like parts of the animation in this felt like I was like Attack on Titans feel. So I appreciated that. I didn't really have a lot of gripes towards the animation style. I actually really enjoyed the animation style. For me, it just felt like it was just like, we've seen this before. I didn't really like the way it was presented, and there was no force really at all. And it was just like people in a hole, people in a pit. That was it. They're slaves.
I don't know. I think I don't know. I think there's more Star Wars than the Force.
True.
Like there's no Force in Andor.
Right? Bro, that is completely different situation.
But I'm saying that just because there's no Force doesn't mean that it's automatically losing
I
points.
agreed, but it just like there was nothing.
And like the fact that they're looking for kyber crystals, like that's a tie to the Force. Like that's a very Force thing, whether it's a Sith or Jedi or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's them, like the Empire taking those kyber crystal resources and using them for themselves, so that the Jedi can't use it. Yeah. But that girl, she's Force sensitive, has a kyber crystal, so she's clearly going to become a Jedi in the future somehow.
Hopefully, we never see that, but yeah,
whatever. You're going to watch it and you're going to love it. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I felt really bad when that guy died, when he got thrown over the edge. Like that's like, holy crap! Like
that was pretty. It was pretty intense. That's why I was hoping that when they started rioting, it would have been a little bit intense. Like one of the dumb troopers would have accidentally shot one, and then it would have been crazy and intense and a real rebellion. Instead, they're like, "Oh, let's just run away and just leave the planet." Okay, and that was it. And then all the slaves probably came out, and then they're like, "Okay, let's get you healthy, and then let's benefit all the hard work you guys did off of what you guys did." And they probably got no benefits out of it.
Dang, you're very pessimistic. I'm usually the pessimistic one. You're the one like, these rich people didn't actually care about them.
They didn't, bro.
Whatever.
They were living there the whole time, just enjoying themselves.
I don't know. I think it's a good commentary on, like,
I needed more.
And like it's commentary on like injustice and like how you react
100%. To it. I understand. Like I said, I wish I would have saw it.
And I think it's one of those things where, like, okay, there's we're very neutral on this show, on this podcast, but like, so there's a million opinions on like what justice is and how it should be, like what it means, whatever. But like here, it's like the thing is, if people are not aware of injustices, like they can't act. So there's like the need for people to speak up and show this is an injustice, so that those who are unaware become aware. And that's when people become aware, it's the hope that people will end up making change. And it's kind of like that old guy in the bottom of the pit. He's like, we're stuck here forever. Nobody cares about us. No one's going to help us. Mm-hmm. And then when they start chanting, like the old guy starts chanting with, because he gets hope again. Like he believes that there's a good out there again. And so I think there's a lot to say about.
No, like I said, I wish I would have saw the behind the scenes. I think I would have appreciated it more in the moment. But I wanted a little bit more something.
Will in the chat says, I mean, technically, it's not Star Wars like Star Wars.
Sure, I mean, it's not
Yeah, it's
canon,
not canon.
It doesn't
So
matter.
it doesn't matter. But I'm very. It's interesting that you weren't a fan of this episode. I thought you were going to be more into this episode than me.
I thought I was going to be too, but then when I watched it, I was just like, it's.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that being said, when you're working hard and you're stuck on the bottom of a pit and you have no hope, maybe what you need to do is drink some coffee and or tea from Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea, who is a very ethically sourced coffee company and doesn't take slave labor to harvest their beans and tea leaves. Yep. So if you want to support farmers and workers around the world,
pit work. No pit work here.
Then support us and them by checking out Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea, and that is our sponsor for today. So let's take a listen.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it.
All right. Well, that brings us to the last episode of Volume 2 of Visions. And it is Ayu's song from Triggerfish out of South Africa.
Yes.
And so
I did watch the behind the scenes of this one.
Yeah?
Yeah. I thought it was really cool that they were literally making this in a farm, like on a farm. The animation studio is like in a farm building.
Like, as long as you have a computer and a mouse, like, you can do animation.
Really cool. It was really sweet.
But yeah, so out of South Africa, and they wanted to make a story that kind of represented things from their culture as well. South Africa is a very interesting country in Africa. They had a lot of crazy history down there. But like one of the big things that they did to like parallel South Africa was just taking the environment of South Africa and trying mimicking it in the mountain ranges and the mining and stuff in this planet, which was kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that South Africa looked the way it did. I don't know. You see pictures of Cape Town, South Africa, and it's just a big city. I'm like, oh, okay, that's South Africa. But they're much more richer in culture and history and whatnot. So, but yeah, so was this like two people were like the main? Was this like two of them?
Yeah, it was like the main two people that were directing it, and I believe wasn't that one of the artists like also doing audio, like voicing for it?
The dad, I think so.
No. The dad they hired. Oh no. The lady who is doing a lot of the animation, she also sang for it. That's what it was.
Oh,
she was
yeah.
a singer.
Yeah. But yeah. So, what were your overall thoughts of this episode?
I like this episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I also really enjoyed the animation style was really different and cool.
So I don't know if you caught this when they said it in the behind the scenes, but I think this is also not stop motion. This is all
It's
CGI.
not. Yeah, it's CGI.
Because I remember because they made like
They made
physical dolls,
Mhm.
but then like they just made in passing like something, and then so we could pass it on to the CGI artist for
Mhm.
like comparison. Oh, so that means it wasn't a stop motion thing. It was just another, just
Yeah,
like
it looks very stop motion.
yeah, like it was looked more like stop motion than
in the stars.
in the stars, which was also not stop motion.
Yeah.
That was animation CGI also. So,
But it looked it looked like a doll running around. Like it was
right,
really cool. Like you can see like the stitching. Like it was
yeah,
really interesting. But then like when you saw the Jedi, you can tell that wasn't like the same.
but it was like like their skin was like felt,
Yeah.
like that kind of fabric, and so it was just interesting. I was like, how do they do this stop motion with like on this kind of
Material.
like, material and like with the eyes like moving like it
Mhm.
seemed like it was like and like the girl like Au with her like hair. I don't know if they're hair or tendrils or whatever, but like they're always moving and moving in the
Mhm.
wind. I'm like, dang, this is a lot of work to like move
Yeah.
all these parts, and they didn't. They just CGI.
Yeah. It was really, really cool. I thought it was a cool CGI. Like it felt like you said, like it was stop motion, but it wasn't. Um the the environment was really pretty and really sweet. And like it had stuff to do with Kyber.
Right.
Another Kyber crystal group of people who their job is to mine Kyber, but like not slave.
Yeah, it was cool because it opened up with kind of like an opening crawl, but it was just kind of like
Yeah.
screens. But it's like it was full of kyber crystals, but then like the Sith corrupted all of them on the planet, so they're like explosive and like reactive,
Mhm.
and so they have to like mine them for the Jedi, so the Jedi can purify them again.
Yeah.
Which is
It's a cool concept.
It's a cool concept. Like I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of these episodes. Like it's like I kind of went back and forth with like this is the story, and then this is the animation style, and I'm like,
do they align?
And I'm like, I kept going back and forth. I'm like, I feel like I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it because
No,
like,
I do too. It's
like,
not that high on my list overall,
but it's like if
it's a really cool story.
But I'm thinking like what if the studio that did Journey to a Dark Head, Studio Mer out of South Korea, like if they did this story, like with that style of animation, like would this episode be as good? Like would they be able to pull off like the music part and like the singing and like how
I think it would
they
have been really good if it was
like
Into the Pit animation with that story. I said it would have been really cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Because like part of me is like, no, like this style makes the story work as well as this. Because like, yeah, we have like this stop motion looking stuff, but then like when Au is singing, like she goes into this like world between worlds in a sense, and it's like the animation changes where like the kyber crystals are and how like the sound waves are like touching the kybers and like it's just for me it's I think I'm at the conclusion that this animation style, as like weird as it is,
it works really well with the story.
It's necessary for the story because a different animation style for the story would not work as well. I don't know though. We'll never know. It's like
yeah, we never know. But I thought the story was really good, and the animation I thought was really cool and different. It didn't really feel really Star Warsy, but I really appreciated it because it looked like it took a while to make. It was really like detailed, and then the story that they were telling was so well done that I think it worked out really well for me. Like it didn't really feel a lot of the times it didn't really feel like Star Wars that much, but the story was so well done and the animation was so well done that I was able to like step aside and just enjoy it.
So
I felt like.
Why do you say it didn't feel like Star Wars?
Oh, just because like they just look like stuffed animals. Like, well, you know what I mean? Like the Jedi looked cool. I think the Jedi was really sweet.
I really like the Jedi.
I really liked her a lot.
Cool.
I thought that's a cool Jedi character. Like it almost kind of felt like Cad Bane-ish.
Oh yeah, her hat. Yeah, I remember
like
thinking that
I
too.
really liked it, but like it was just like those two characters. Like it kind of just like felt like I was watching like Animal Crossing or something. Like those two characters kind of took me out a little bit, but like overall the story kept me in it enough where I really appreciated it and I liked it.
Interesting. Yeah, I really like this episode. At the end of the day, I really like it. It was just a very interesting, like because like we know a little bit in Star Wars about like the song of Kyber crystals, how they sing, and how
the
they
sounds of Kyber,
how they call out to a Force sensitive person to like find that Kyber crystal. So I thought it was cool that they took something that was like that's not fleshed out a lot in Star Wars, that we don't know a lot about, and they kind of added their own story to it.
Yep.
I'm like, it makes sense. Like,
yeah, it did.
They have this musical aspect, and they use a Force sensitive singer to be able to fix the corrupt Kyber and purify them, which I thought was just very interesting.
Yeah, I liked it,
and I liked the just like the music itself, like the singing itself was just a cool little simple melody, and was very intriguing. It drew me in. It was very interesting.
I thought it was cool because like with their culture, like they were calling each other mom and dad, like or dad, I mean, in their language.
Oh,
there's certain
ape or appa,
yeah,
or something like that.
There's like certain words that they were using that was like South African words, which I thought was really cool tie-in. Like they're able to add their little country's spice to it without like pulling you out of the moment. So I thought it was really cool.
Did you think that dad was gonna die when the fence or the rope bridge broke and he fell? Dude, I thought he was down for the count.
No,
yeah, like classic Star Wars.
He's
like,
a too happy character to kill him off like that.
But then that Jedi, then once Au fell, okay, they're not gonna kill.
They're not gonna get both of them.
But I'm like, how are they gonna get to this? Like, how are they gonna do this?
Yeah.
And then the Jedi was there, and she jumped down, and
it was a super cool scene too.
She like held all the holding all the thing falling. It kept falling and falling. Like it wasn't just like a one time like debris falling and then she stops it. Like the whole mountain was collapsing and it kept falling. I thought it was really cool. And then the girl Au
she's like, I'm just
steps away from the dad. Like, I got this, and no one knows what's going on. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, like she triggered it, and then when she started, she's like, I got this. I'm like, dude, if I was her dad, I'd be like, no, you can't sing anymore, girl. What are you doing? You're gonna we're gonna die faster. And then she fixed it, and it was really cool. And then you can see like the trust that her dad like realized, like, oh, what she's doing is actually fixing this problem.
Right.
And then you see like the Jedi like open her eyes, like, oh, she's actually Force sensitive. Like,
yeah, because
she needs to come with me.
Yeah, at the beginning, she realizes it.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, because I was snooping, and the Jedi confronts her a little bit, and like,
oh, you've grown.
She's but she's like, she speaks to Au with the Force.
Yeah, through the Force. I thought that was cool too.
So like we've never like seen it like that before. I don't think, where we hear someone talking through the Force.
We didn't.
Like we hear
Rey and didn't Rey and Kylo talk to each other?
No, but they saw each other. They had like a vision, like but like I'm saying, like when Jedi like look at each other and they like read each other's feelings and thoughts. Like here we actually get to see those thoughts, or in a sense, like you can hear the Jedi what she's saying to Au, and Au is perceiving it. Like, I don't know.
It was cool.
I think it's cool. Like one of my favorite memes is like, it's like Mace Windu, Yoda, and a couple other Jedi from the Jedi Council, and then Palpatine, and like one of the Jedi Council members makes a joke through the Force. All the Jedi start laughing, but then Palpatine starts laughing, and they all look at Palpatine like, "What?"
Oh, Busted. That would have been funny.
That's one of my favorite memes of all time for Star Wars. But yeah, so very simple story. But I really liked it. Triggerfish out of South Africa.
Yep.
I gotta look up all these studios and see like other things that they've done. Maybe like what else they've done that I would know. Because like what was it? One of them, the Screechers Reach one, Cartoon Saloon. Apparently they're like Academy Award winning.
Oh really?
So like they won an Academy Award for some animated thing at some point. So I gotta go look that up, see what that was. I didn't look it up yet, but yeah. But so that's our breakdown for that episode. But we have one last thing for this season. We want to do an entire episode ranking, all 9 episodes from our least favorite to our favorite. And I think we're gonna have 2 very different lists.
You think?
I think we're gonna have some very big differences, but we'll see. Who wants to go first? Drew, you want to go first? Me?
No, you go first. You want to just read all of them?
I was going to read them all in order.
Okay.
So on the bottom, number 9. What do you think it is?
For you, I'm Your Mother.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
That is my least favorite one. It was just not enough for me, I guess. Number 8, Journey to the Dark Head.
That's my number 8.
Aw.
Oh, so cute.
Twinsies. Only because the story was kind of confusing. Like if the story was a little bit more coherent, it would have been maybe up there in my top half.
Mm-hmm.
But the story was just a little too confusing for me, so nope. Number 7, The Pit. Number 6 and number 5, I went back and forth. Like they could go interchangeably, and same with 3 and 4. I was kind of going back and forth. So like these middle part are kind of like all very close to me, and it was very hard. So, but number 6, In the Stars. Number 5, The Sith. 4, The Bandits of Golak. And here's my top 3.
That's my number 4 too. That's funny.
Number 3, Au's Song.
Oh wow.
Number 2, The Spy Dancer. And number 1, you already know it, Screechers Reach. So, Drew?
Yeah. Well, okay, so my number 9, The Pit.
Yeah.
Dark Head is my number 8. We said that already. Sith is my number 7.
Ooh, that low down?
Yeah.
Dang.
And then Audio Song is my number 6.
Dang, bro.
Into the Stars is my number 5. And then how do you pronounce? And then we have the same number 4.
Bandits of Golak.
Yes. And then I'm Your Mother is my number 3 because I really just enjoy it. I love that animation studio styles. It brings back a lot of fun kid memories.
And your kid likes it too.
And Miles loves it. So that's why it's higher up for me. Screechers Reach is my number 2. And the Spy Dancer is number 1 for me.
Oh, Spy Dancer is number 1?
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't think.
After I went back and I watched the behind the scenes, and I love World War II history stuff, and I'm just like, dude, this is such a cool concept. I like this a lot.
So we both have the same 2 in our top 2.
Correct. And then we have a couple that are actually in the exact same spots.
Oh, interesting.
It wasn't that bad. So, well, yeah, even what The Pit for you is number 8?
7.
Oh, yes. I'm surprised Sith was that low on mine.
Yeah, dude. I was like...
But I think it's because, one, I watched that one so far ago that, like, I probably should have refreshed.
To be fair, I forgot to remind you we're doing our list, and so you did it literally 5 minutes before tonight.
I think, like, Into the Stars is, like, a really good... Like, I liked it a lot. So that's why I'm at number 5. And then... The Golak, like, I don't know. I like the animation. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
So even though I was hating on how it didn't really feel like Star Wars, but it's still my 4th pick overall. So I guess it kept me in there enough. So yeah.
All right, cool. So
Let
those
us
are our
know what
lists.
your guys' lists are.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's Star Wars Visions Volume 2.
Yeah.
I'm guessing at some point we'll get Volume 3 because this is a lot of hits. And so what, it was a year and 3/4 later from season 1, so 2025 maybe we'll be getting January 2025, February 2025 we'll be getting.
Probably.
So
they'll probably announce it like right at
do
Celebration.
you think
again?
That is true. That's our Celebration in Japan, which would make sense if they're doing more if they do it all
Japanese
anime
studios?
studio ones, they could do that.
That's actually gonna be a cool celebration to go to because they probably have a lot of those studios there.
Right, that'd be cool.
Like actually interviewing those studios from like season 1.
When you and Steph go for your 10-year anniversary,
yeah, I'll let you know. That's the goal.
Is it the goal?
That is the goal.
You guys have been talking about it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I convinced you. You're like, nah, we can't do it. And then I convinced you all these reasons why.
And then also, it's like, you know what? We're supposed to go there for our 5-year anniversary. And then COVID hit. So then we're like, you know what? Let's just go for the 10. Miles will be even older. So if we have to take him, we could. Or if we want to leave him, we can.
Bro, he'd still be, what, 4 years old?
Yeah, but
he's like, dude, just you and Steph.
I think me and Steph will just go. I don't. But I'm saying like he's older, so he's easier for people to watch while we're gone.
Oh,
for like 10 days.
Right.
Because you're gonna go over there. You gotta go over there.
Just so you know, I'm not watching them. Just so you know.
Okay.
I don't know how to keep a human being alive.
I'll take you off the list.
Well, number 1 on your list.
Yeah. Darn it.
Uncle Jeremiah.
No, Jeremy. Uncle Jeremy is not gonna watch.
I was gonna say something about.
Did you do a Q&A?
Oh shoot, we did for people talking about last week's episodes or the episodes 4, 5, and 6. So I keep thinking I'll probably just ask about people's thoughts on these episodes for when Andrew's back, or have people rank episodes. But let's go. So we only got 4 people. So Jonathan says, I want a full anime series for Journey to the Darkhead. That animation is great, and the characters and dialogue are engaging. I want to know more about the galaxy. True.
Oh, wow.
Like, I'm sure if they did like a bigger, longer story from here, it would make a lot more sense to me. Yeah. Cooler. Because it is interesting, like those rocks have those visions on it and stuff. Oh, and your coworker, did you ever ask about this?
No, I didn't. I don't think it's him, though.
Charlie Hepp.
Charlie.
Last week he was like, okay, his comment made some sense. This one,
should we just stop reading his?
No, we have to. It's like a
fun. We're just gonna have T-shirts made, and it's just gonna say Charlie Hepp.
Charlie Hepp
be like a random.
Con.
We're gonna have like random like quotes on the back of the T-shirts. If you guys want a Charlie Hepp T-shirt, let us know. He's gonna make money off this guy's name.
Like, hashtag who is Charlie Hepp?
Yeah.
People have like conspiracy theories on who he is, but Charlie Hepp says, I was thinking about it, so I wanted to say that you guys don't know what happened to Han Solo was a trap, got on the ice cube like an ice cream cake to bake it. I think it's happening before I got it. So that makes no sense. Whatever. I don't know. But we'll keep that in mind.
Charlie.
Elias says for these 3 episodes from last week, okay, I guess I'm not really into anime though. Definitely not as good as the first 3 episodes though.
Okay.
True. And Addie says, I really liked it despite answers. My favorite though. Smiley face, smiley face.
Will did make a good point. Maybe Charlie Hepp's English is not their first language.
That could be true.
Maybe they're actually really trying to say something to us and we just making fun of his.
Like changing our lives and we don't even realize it.
Yeah. Like ice cream is a metaphor for the weather outside, where he's
Well,
at. And
it's way too hot here in Minnesota, and I'm so over summer.
what is it right now?
It's only 78 right now,
76 on my end, but
it's I'm done with summer. I'm done.
buckle up, bro. We got a long ways.
I was gonna ask. So season 3, do you think Pixar would ever do a short?
Please, bro.
Because they do all those shorts. They always do like 5-minute shorts. Do you think they would ever do?
Have you seen the dumpling one?
Maybe have, but like,
oh, that one's so good. I forget the name of it.
They're all on Disney Plus, right?
Yeah,
I have to go. I watched most of them. I don't know if I've seen all of them.
That one's like a metaphor of like a mom not letting go. There, it was so cool. It's so good.
But like, do you think because Pixar is owned by Disney?
Correct.
So it's like, would Pixar ever do a 15-20 minute Star Wars short?
Would, and it would be a banger. I wouldn't mind if Pixar just like, we're doing an animated series movie on Star Wars. Oh, I'll take my money.
You know what they could do? They could do a short as Toy Story, but with Star Wars toys.
Oh, stop. That would be amazing.
You have like, your Black Series things like in the boxes. And they come
like
out of the box.
Woody, oh my!
You have Pops. You have like Legos. You have like all of these different kinds of Star Wars memorabilia and toys, and they do a Star Wars Toy Story.
I would cry. Miles would love it,
and it's gonna be like the dad's toys, and then he has a kid. And he gives his Star Wars toys to his kid.
This is why you need to start cleaning Disney's bathrooms right now. For this reason. You got to pitch this to Disney.
All right, I'll text Dave, see if I can get an entry.
Black Series Toy Story.
Like, I hate cleaning the bathroom. Like, that's my number one most hated chore is cleaning the bathroom. Yeah,
but if you could do that for Disney.
If Disney wanted to hire me as, like, I could.
You would do it for Disney.
Black Series Toy Story. That's what Red Buff said.
That'd be so cool. Or even if it was just like Toy Story characters met a Star Wars toy.
Like Woody versus like Anakin and
like just something cool like that. Or like
kind of like a what was it? Captain America Civil War. Like the two sides, like you got one side Star Wars toys, one side Toy Story.
Like Buzz is like holding down some stormtroopers with
Buzz,
his lasers.
Buzz versus the Mandalorian.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Jesse's doing kung fu on all of them.
Like Mando is like doing smack talk, like you fall with style, but I fly with style because I have a real jetpack.
Oh, dude, that would be so cool.
So Pixar, whoever's the head of Pixar and stuff, shoot an email to Kathleen, get the ball rolling.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. I'd be down.
Or even like, I wonder if they would do like because obviously, it's all about money and stuff and like who owns what, but like, what if like competitors here in the United States, like DreamWorks? Like with DreamWorks, they're not owned by Disney, they're a competitor.
That would work.
But like, would DreamWorks do a?
They probably would if they're asked, but I don't think they would ever ask.
I don't know. Spread love, not hate, right? Zurg versus Vader.
Yeah, I just saw that. Who's the real dad now? That would be dope.
Now we gotta do all that now. Maybe that should be our Q&A instead. Like, who are the opposites in like Star Wars and Toy Story? Who would fight each other? Like, who are their parallels?
There's so many similarities. Who's Slinky? Slinky's going against Jar Jar.
Nah, Slinky is too cool. He'd be like no, it'd have to be like Jabba the Hutt, right? Because like long skinny body, maybe.
But no, probably Chewie. Because Chewie was supposed to represent a dog.
Oh yeah, there's that. What else?
Jesse is.
Well, then you have all the aliens, because there's so many of them. Be the clones versus the clones.
Who would be comparison to Mr. Potato Head?
I don't know. I was thinking like Grievous, because he always like lost arms and stuff during the Clone Wars, and like had to get new ones and snap back on. What?
Who would be R2 and C3PO? That's my question.
What was there? It was like any characters that are like super like, we shouldn't be doing this like that. Like that would be.
Yeah, C3PO would be Rex.
Oh, the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought when you were saying Rex, I thought you meant like clone.
Yeah, that's confusing. That would be confusing. Dude, you could have Rex and Rex point at each other. Spider-Man meme. Rex is Miles' favorite. He carries a Rex with him everywhere he goes. He has a big, giant stuffed animal one that he keeps in his car. And then he always has Stephanie hold his Rex dinosaur toy in her purse. And he loves it. And he always goes, roar, with it.
Well, thinking back now, I guess the green G.I. Joe army men would be against clones.
Yes.
That's what they would do that.
And then who'd be Ham?
Who's Ham?
The pig.
Oh, the pig.
Because he's like sassy.
Like I haven't watched these movies in a while, so like I forget like the character like personas of these a lot of times.
Oh, really?
But well, like and we got Woody too. Like who would be like?
Woody would probably be like.
Would that
Luke?
Be like he's like a sheriff, so that'd be like
Han
maybe, like
who
shot first?
Maybe. Yeah, that makes sense. Because maybe, I don't know. Jesse would be like. I feel like Jesse honestly would be more like Bo-Katan. Like maybe. Really aggressive, or like maybe Leia, like super aggressive, and all of a sudden they do like kung fu.
Who would be Forky?
Jar Jar for sure. That's Jar Jar right there. Gosh, I hate that character. I hate the episode 4 is Helpers.
You know, of Toy Story, you don't like the fourth movie?
We skipped that one.
What?
We don't let Miles watch that one.
Why?
Because this is dumb.
Aww.
It was Toy Story had such a good ending. The third Toy Story was the best. It had such a good ending. Everyone and their grandma cried. It was so sad. It was so good.
I didn't see the third movie till like 2 years after it came out, because I just never got a chance.
Oh.
And like everyone was saying like, oh, this is the best ending, blah 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 blah.
It was, dude.
And I watched it. I
watched it in theaters, and I like literally cried in theaters. I remember. But then 4 came out, and then
I like 4.
Rumors they're doing 5.
Red Buff says they're making a 5th one.
Yeah,
but like I think I cried at the end of 4. Like when the girl doll like goes up to the girl that's lost, and like does the thing to help the girl be brave, like be happy, like when she's lost. Like that was very like she finally got an owner. Like she finally did her duty as a toy for a little kid. I'm like, this is very emotional. Like,
yeah, but she stole Woody's voice box. Not a fan. Not a fan of that.
Okay, but they made up, and
then also Woody leaves and becomes a lost toy.
That's fine.
When she was what's her name's favorite.
That's fine.
In episode 3, movie 3. Just saying they should have stopped. So I don't know. Because how are they going to do a 5 without Woody? Like, huh?
I don't know. They'll figure it out. And
yes, they're making it Frozen 3, which
Frozen is also overrated.
Yeah, Frozen 1 was good. Frozen 2, it's like, I guess 3, no way.
And I was really mad because they had an opportunity to do like a Frozen verse after the after the first movie, because like the fan theory was from Frozen 1. So like the parents
was supposed to be
Tarzan's
parents. Yep.
Because like they had a little baby brother or whatever.
Yep.
I'm like, dude.
Well, they looked exactly like them too.
Yeah, like they
should have went that route.
That would have been so cool.
That would have been so dope.
That their brother was Tarzan.
Yeah.
Live action Moana and Lilo and Stitch are already starting casting. Yep.
Lilo and Stitch would be so weird live action.
I don't know. I've only seen a movie once, and the first time I saw that was like 2 years ago.
Came out? Wait, what?
I just never watched it. I think it
might have been like be good.
2020 when there was nothing to do. I think I watched it just staying at home.
They're definitely for Moana. They're definitely gonna have The Rock.
Oh, I think they already announced that. I think he's like in the announcement commercial, like video. Like he's like,
oh wow,
actually doing it.
Oh, doesn't Little Mermaid come out this weekend or something like that?
I have no idea. I don't care.
Yeah, I probably won't watch it either.
I'll watch it when it's on Disney Plus, but I don't care.
I'm excited for Indiana Jones. Spider-Man comes out next weekend.
That is true. Across the
I'm
Spider-Verse.
excited for that. Really excited for that.
Well,
maybe we should do a YouTube.
Transformers is coming out too.
Okay, maybe we should do a YouTube exclusive on Into the Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse. Maybe.
Why? That'd be cool. Let us know if you guys want that.
You know they're gonna want it. You don't ask questions like they're gonna want this. All right. Well, we're Babylon. So yeah. So
Babylon.
we're babbling on.
Okay.
But yeah. So season 3 of Visions maybe in 2025 sometime. Really hoping Pixar does something. That'd be cool.
That'd be dope.
That'd be really cool. DreamWorks too. DreamWorks puts out good movies. How to Train Your Dragon.
Sure.
1. Favorite animated movie of all time. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out.
Didn't DreamWorks, am I wrong? Didn't they do Mario? Try to help me out.
No.
I want to say they did.
I don't.
Maybe
think so.
not.
No, I don't think so. All right.
DreamWorks did Shrek though, right?
Maybe. I've never seen a Shrek movie in my entire life.
Whoa!
So.
Whoa! Wait! You've never seen Shrek?
I've never seen any Shrek movie.
Not even the first one?
No,
bro, you gotta watch Shrek. Shrek is amazing.
It just seems so
no,
weird, like gross. Like I don't know.
No, it's so good. You'll like it. You would like it. Trust me, Jeremiah, you would like it.
And I remember, looking back, I feel really bad about this, like how terrible of a son I was. But I think I can't remember, but I felt like my parents, when I was because I came when we were kids, wanted to surprise me, to take me to see Shrek.
And you didn't want to go watch it?
And I didn't want to go.
What the? Jeremiah.
I think it was something like we went out to eat, just the 3 of us.
Oh, Jeremiah!
And we're gonna take you see. We're gonna take you to go see Shrek. I'm like,
I wonder why they moved so far up north. They're just so mad you didn't go see Shrek.
I think it's something like that. I remember there was a time there was something about a movie and dinner, and I didn't want to go to the movie or something. I can't remember.
Were they mad?
I don't know. I think they were surprised that I said no. But I don't know. They probably don't even remember that.
Your dad's still. Yeah, I saw your sister graduated this weekend. That's nothing to do with the podcast, but
yeah, she did.
Congrats to your sister. But yeah, dude, you gotta watch Shrek, bro. It's a banger. Where is Shrek on right now? It's on some. Go watch Shrek, bro. You gotta watch Shrek. It's so good.
Then it's gonna be like a 20-year-old more than 20-year-old animation style.
Dude, it holds up. I watched it last week. I'm not even kidding.
It's gonna be like Toy Story 1. It's gonna look rough.
No, it's not that rough. It is not that rough. And what's his name as Donkey? Oh, it's the best, bro.
Eddie
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy?
Right? No.
Eddie Murphy? No.
Who is it?
I know the guy. Is that his name?
I think so. That sounds right. But it also doesn't. Chat, help us out real quick, please.
No, it's like when you spell words and you spell it out. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, I was right.
Okay, I was like, Something I was like, that doesn't sound right.
It did sound weird that you said that though. He's the
All
same.
right.
I think Miles loves it because he loves Mushu, and it's the same actor, and it's like kind
We're
of
not talking about Mulan again. I've already
It's
seen.
kind of the same character ish. But dude, you like Shrek, bro. Just watch the first one. You don't have to watch the other ones.
There's like 4 of them plus like a spinoff or 2.
1 and 2 are really good. Yeah, there's like Puss in Boots spinoffs, but I've never even seen those. 1 and 2 is really good.
Don't worry, Red. We got it figured out.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was Star Wars Visions. So I would say, I think I'm the only person who thinks this, but I think this season was better than season 1.
All right, you guys have a good week, and we'll see you.
Because look, so I have my list. How my ranking is. So like I would say that other than my bottom 3, like my top 6, they're like very enjoyable.
I think they're enjoyable. I just think
whereas like in season 1 there was only like 3 episodes that I really liked. So like I enjoyed more episodes this season than I did in first season.
But you're not an anime fan.
That doesn't matter.
Well, I feel like if you like anime, you really appreciate the first season a lot. Because they're all studios that you know. And like, I don't know, I disagree a lot. Season 1 was way more better. Like, it was a lot better, more fluid, easier to follow, I feel like. Like, overall, I feel like the stories, there wasn't a lot of, like, questions for me. I don't know. That's my opinion.
I don't know.
I'm curious to see what Andrew says.
Most people are on your boat that people did not like this second season.
Yeah, a lot of people did not like it.
I don't know. I just think that it was more ambitious this season. I think
the
stories were
might be why
better.
Because they liked. First of all, like season 1, they encourage you to watch it subbed. Like they kind of encourage you to watch the first one.
They didn't encourage.
Yes, they did. The first time you saw the thing, it was in Japanese. Visions was in Japanese. Like they encouraged people to watch it subbed, not dubbed.
I don't ever remember any.
You don't remember that because you were like stressing out and you're like, I hope it's actually dubbed.
That's just because they said, okay, it's anime studios, and I know the toxicity of anime fans. Like, oh, you have to watch it this way, blah blah blah.
It just felt like you were supposed to watch it that way.
I don't think they. Then why would they make it an option to have?
Well,
why would they announce all these big name actors and actresses doing the dubs if they wanted
and that's another thing. I feel like the actors were way more well known in season 1 than season 2. Because we had because the other countries, they made it so like everyone, especially like the US audience, were able to enjoy it without worrying about that. And last season they had to cast their own voice actors for all of it because a lot of it was submitted in Japanese.
Right, so that means they're trying to get people to watch it with dubs because
I
no
agree,
one would
but
watch
I'm
it
saying
if it
like
was.
They also gave you that option that it was subbed.
But you can do that.
Was really cool.
You could do that with this season too. You can put it on whatever language you want.
That's not the same. Because there are also like well-known Japanese voice actors that did season 1. It's not like turning on the different languages. It's a little different than that.
Oh, right, but I'm pretty sure.
And maybe I
Journey to a Darkhead, and I'm guessing The Pit are probably.
They might be in Japanese. Well, but Journey to Darkhead is Korean, though.
Well, do Korean animes, are they in Korean or are they in Japanese?
They're in Korean.
So then
I'm sure they could be, like, I don't know, maybe a lot of these that are different languages studios, maybe there is. Like the Indian one probably has famous Indian actors. but I feel like it's not advertised.
But
Like
like I said, I don't think that watching it in Japanese was advertised.
I thought it was because like we even got a promo poster of it in Japanese, like on YouTube. I remember that.
Well, I remember there was a Japanese version of the trailer, but
Yeah, that's what I'm
just,
saying.
but
I
that's
didn't
not
even
because
see. I didn't even see the. I remember I didn't even watch the American version. I saw that one first for some reason. Like that's how prominent it was. So I feel like a lot of people that
I don't whatever. We'll agree to disagree. Anyway,
yeah, I just feel like a lot of people liked the last season more because it was more. It just made sense. I feel like they would have done like just India studios or like if they had options to do just different, like just UK studios or something. I feel like maybe it would have felt more fluid. I feel like this one kind of was all over the place. And
I don't know.
I don't think it wasn't a big issue for me, but I felt like that is most people's complaints. Was like it was just a lot.
I don't know. I think first season had tons of variety. There was nothing coherent from episode to episode. They're all completely different, just like as this season. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what they do for season 3, if they do a season 3. I don't see why they wouldn't.
Right.
So.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Visions.
What's our Q&A question? Just if they like the last 3 episodes or overall?
We're gonna do the Toy Story versus comparisons. Okay.
Cool.
But that being said, let's transition over to everyone's favorite time, voicemail time.
It's voicemail time.
All right, cool. Well, we have an email voicemail from Elias.
I was going to remind you, but you reminded yourself.
Because we were supposed to do it last week, and I forgot. So I apologize. And I think it might be one of his questions is no longer relevant.
Oh.
But we have 2 questions then from him. But then we also have one voicemail from the GOAT, Will.
Oh.
So from Elias, first question, if you could bring back any Star Wars character from the dead, who would it be? Drew?
I'm trying to think of Star Wars characters that actually died.
I would say Qui-Gon Jinn. Like,
is he dead though?
Yes, he's dead. He's
dead.
Force Ghost. Yeah. I would say his death is what led Anakin to the dark side. So
facts.
If somehow Qui-Gon Jinn could come back before the Clone Wars or during the Clone Wars, that could have a major impact on Anakin's outcome.
Qui-Gon is a good one.
Queel from Mando. He's a cool guy, cool character. He died too soon.
Yeah, that wasn't like on my list at all. But yes, I do like This Is a Way.
So. Bring back Admiral Akbar so he could have a noble death.
Facts. Yes.
That was the most disappointing death in all of Star Wars.
When you explained that to me, I was so pissed.
Should have been him
the entire time
doing the Holdo maneuver to sacrifice himself. Like it should have been him.
Yep, 100%. When you told me that day, I like ruined my life. I think that's probably where all my real hate comes from episode 8.
No, you hated that movie long before I made that
True,
comment.
but I really hate that he's strong. What about Han?
Nah, he had a good run. I liked his death moment. It was a very emotional moment.
It was a good moment. I just wish we would have got a scene with all of them in the Millennium Falcon. That'll never happen. Trying to think who died that I'm like.
It's like, but like some of these deaths are like so important, like you need them to die. So like you can't, you don't want to bring them back. So then death means like Kanan, like he has one of the most emotional deaths in all of Star Wars. Like it's in my top 5 moments of all time in Star Wars is his death scene. So it's like, do I want him back? Because
yes,
I don't think so. We could get him like in a flashback in live action Ahsoka.
I think like even Kylo, like his death was needed for the meme of her sucking the life out of him. But
that's your meme. There's no meme for that. You made that.
There is a meme for that. I'll send it to you later. I've seen it. But
I don't know.
I think I'm with you. But that would have just changed all of Star Wars though, too.
Qui-Gon and Admiral Akbar. Those are our choices.
Yeah, Admiral Akbar for sure. Gosh, yeah. I would have said Boba Fett if you would have asked me before Boba Fett came back.
Yep.
Because after, when I watched that in the movie theaters again, I'm like, yeah, that was the worst death of all time. Like, hands down.
Oh, speaking of deaths, characters, I forget what it was. I don't even remember the articles, but supposedly Cad Bane didn't die. There's rumors that that's
Cad Bane?
Cad Bane. Remember you said, he didn't die.
Yeah. I told you, he didn't die. He's not dead.
I still think he's dead. But there's rumors that like something leaked or something.
That
No, what was it?
Ahsoka?
No, it was like a book. Like one of those like fact books or behind the scene books, like characters and scenes. And there's like the way they describe the moment of Cad Bane's death. Like the word that they use was very ambiguous, and people think that might be intentional because either they are bringing him back or they want to leave room to bring him back. I forget what it is, something like that. It was in one of those like visual dictionaries, like one of those type of.
Well, if he is dead, I want him back. That's a death that should have never happened like that. It should have been him on the gurney getting fixed up.
Yep.
To end of Book of Boba.
All right.
And we didn't see him Bad Batch this season. That was kind of sad.
Yep, they're too busy making half the episodes pointless, but.
Facts.
All right.
Maybe he was in a pit somewhere.
Maybe. All right. Second question, and I think he might be in the middle of this right now. I'm not sure because he posted something in the Discord, but he says, and since I'm going to Galaxy's Edge when school gets out, I would like to ask Drew what were the most fun things about Galaxy's Edge for him.
If you can, I would say build a lightsaber. That experience is like kind of only you can do it there, and it's a really cool experience. And then I forget the name of the ride now because it's been so long, but that one ride when you open the doors, I don't want to spoil it for you, but you probably have been spoiled. But there's a moment on one of the rides at Galaxy's Edge that is just so cool and dope. So I don't know, but like me walking through the gate and realizing you're in Star Wars, that was probably my coolest moment.
All right, so I scrolled back up in Discord. So he posted yesterday, I got a Darth Vader Black Series helmet at Galaxy's Edge today. But he also says, and I am staying at the Galactic Star Cruiser thing.
Oh, wow.
So he's one of the last few people to be there because they are closing it. Did you hear that?
Yeah. Well, they're going to close Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they're making a Star Wars world. Lucas World. Or what is it called exactly? I posted it in our stories.
Oh, I don't know.
But
Look at that stuff.
but they're legitly closing Galaxy's Edge.
Like both of them.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about.
Is the Star Cruiser
It's gonna
thing
be a
only
while,
in
though.
Florida?
Huh?
Is there only one Star Cruiser thing?
That's a hotel.
Yeah.
I think so. And it doesn't surprise me that they're closing it because it has like the worst ratings of all time.
Well, it's like
hotel.
$5,000 a night or something like that.
And it doesn't feel like Star Wars at all.
So that means that Elias comes from money. So
that's true. So
if you want to invest in
feel free
Empire
to
Radio
donate
Incorporated,
at our Venmo.
come if you can afford that, you can come to EmpireCon.
Facts.
But yes, Elias.
I had a picture of it. I think I deleted it. But anyways, yeah, they're making a new Star Wars world at Disney, and it's gonna be a bunch of like parts of the world is gonna be like, or I should say, land in the world. Disney World. It's gonna be a land. It's not gonna be like part of like Hollywood Studios anymore. It's gonna be its own thing. But it's gonna be a while.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, thank you, Elias, for those 2 questions. Sorry I didn't get to your thing last week. I forgot. But we have a voicemail from Will, so let's take a listen.
Hey, Empire Radio. Will here. Just a random question. I'm going axe throwing this Friday with my job. And I was wondering, have either of you been axe throwing? Or would you want to?
All right. Thank you, Will. Drew, have you ever been axe throwing?
Multiple times.
And
it's pretty cool. Just don't be like that one girl and throw and duck and barely survive.
That's like every video.
Oh, it's either one though. It was like
I've seen them, but there's 2 videos. One, it's like right in the middle bullseye, or it bounces off and almost decapitates someone. Like that's, yeah. I'm like,
it's not Jeremiah's thing. I'll tell you that.
It's not my thing. I looked it up, like a place in Minneapolis. It's like,
you can do it at,
it's like $30 for 45 minutes. I'm like, what?
Mm-hmm.
After like 5 throws, like,
I disagree, dude.
I'm like, I'm over it. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah, it's not really your thing. They do have one at what theater is that? They have it at I think at a Marcus theater. Is it Marcus or is it?
No, Marcus is too classy for axe throwing.
It is one of the one that, what is it? Is it Marcus? Whatever the one I went to when I went to a private birthday party.
Oh, that's not Marcus.
What is that one?
I don't know. I forget.
But it's a really fancy one. They have a full bar, and then instead of an arcade room, it's now converted to axe throwing. But yeah.
Fun. Yeah.
It's fun.
It's.
You might like the one at Dave and Buster's, Jeremiah. It's foam. Or it's like harder plastic, and you can throw it and it kind of gets sucked. I don't know. It's cool.
I don't know. I don't really get it.
Yeah, it's not really.
Like, I'd rather just go bowling. Like, that's something.
Yeah.
I'm not that great at bowling, because like most people aren't. But
I love bowling.
What's your personal best?
I don't remember the number, but I got a turkey twice in a night. That's all I remember.
In the same
game? In the same game.
Oh.
No, 2 separate games. That would have been cool, though.
I'm trying to think what my personal best was. It was either 154 or 174. I can't remember. Isn't
like the best, the top you could go is like 320 or something?
Well, 300 is a perfect.
300, yeah.
That's 12.
I definitely remember
12 strikes or whatever. Because
you
get an extra 1 or 2, like extra 2 or something. I can't remember.
I remember getting 200 at one point, but I don't remember which one it was.
You know what the best advice though I got, and what I did that advice, and that's what got me that high score that night, was you want a ball. People think, okay, I'm going to get a lighter ball because it's easier, and you want a ball that weighs more than the total weight of the pins. So the pins each have regulated weight.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what that is. It's like it might actually be a pound a piece. So it's like 10 pounds or something. So you want
like 11-pound ball.
11-pound, or maybe it's like 12 pounds. So you want like at least a 12, but if you do like a 13 or 14-pound ball, they're heavy, but you need something that is strong enough to push through all the weight of the pins. So like it's not like you throw it right down the middle and you hit the middle pin and you only get like 5 pins down.
Yeah.
It's because your ball is not light enough to push through it all. So the heavier ball, you would have gotten a strike.
I always I always bowl with an 11.
You should up your game a little bit higher, a little bit heavier.
But then you can't play as long.
What?
Your arm gets sore.
Whatever. All right, Will. Thank you. I hope you
let us know. Hopefully,
do well.
Don't die this weekend.
Yeah, don't get hit in the jugular. That would not be fun.
That would ruin. We're gonna have to find someone else to mod. It'd be a whole mess.
I think it's like I was just thinking this. Like, what if like all these fans that we have that we interact with, like, God forbid one of them dies. Like, we wouldn't know. Like,
well, we would know if Will died.
Who
somehow?
How? Like his parents would have to like reach out to us.
Will, tell your parents before you go axe throwing, and make sure they reach out to us when you pass away.
Will, write a will.
Yes.
For our first wish, tell Empire Radio. Have parents send in a voicemail. We'll play it on air.
Good Lord, that'd be the worst voicemail of all time.
Oh gosh, but we'd play it. Do it for the fans. We play it.
Next week, we're going to have someone send in a voicemail that says from Will's mom. And Jeremiah's like, do I listen to this now or do I wait?
No. No, we get it. We get a voicemail from the axe that Will was throwing.
Oh, heck no. Oh, heck no.
I just gave someone an idea. We're probably going to get that next week.
That's going to be the voicemail right there. Good luck, Will. Good luck.
All right, we've been babbling, so let's just get this. I thought we were gonna have a quick episode tonight, but we
some hot takes. Hot takes take a little bit.
And we talked about Pixar for like an hour, but
facts. And you haven't seen Shrek, which is like the biggest hot take of all time. But anyways,
But if you want to get connected to Empire Radio, we're not just on the podcast; we're everywhere. So. Click the link in the description, the links.co/Empire Radio, landing page for everything. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, Discord link. Join the Discord. It's a lot of fun. There is our fan email. We have the VCU Illustration Project, which you heard from Lucy earlier tonight. So there's only a few spots left. So quick, snipe a voicemail. Grab one. Send me an email if you want to call dibs, and we can work that out because it's almost done. I just mentioned the Discord. So if you want to come to EmpireCon, you got to join the Discord because all the information for that is there. We want you to meet the people that you're going to be hanging out with. And build relationships. So when you get there, you're not just standing awkwardly with all these strangers. You actually know these people because it's a lot of fun in Discord getting to know people. What else do we have? We have the needlesslynerdy.com link. We're part of that entertainment network. So if you like a bunch of nerdy stuff, go over there. There's other podcasts and articles and stuff. So go check that out. And we've been part of that for, I don't know, coming up on 2 years now, a year and a half, a little over a year and a half. So check that out. I think that's everything. Oh, and there's also the voicemail link. So if you want to send a voicemail, click that link. It brings you right to the thing. Really easy. You get 1 minute. Just push record. You got a minute. Got the timer. And you can listen to it before you send it, and you can put a little like, hey, my name is this, or whatever.
Send in voicemails for sure for next week, or in 2 weeks for
Andrew would love to hear from you.
Yes.
It's going to be like a 3 to 4 hour episode probably, so send in those voicemails.
Yes. And come in the live stream. Twitch.tv/Empire Radio.
Yeah, we had record numbers when Andrew came back for the Ahsoka trailer breakdown.
Let's break it.
Yeah, I think
Great.
27 at one point or something like that.
Yeah, some
I remember I saw like 22 or 23, but I think you said
we're
saw
popping off.
Yeah, so the king has returned, as they would say in
Mufasa.
Lord of the
You just start calling
I was
Andrew
gonna say Lord of the
Mufasa.
Rings.
Oh,
But
wait, Lord of
the
the
Return
Rings.
of the King.
Oh,
That's a movie. Come on,
You know
even
what I
I
watched-
know that.
you know what I watched the other day?
No, I
It's
don't.
kind of weird. What's it called? Narnia.
The first, never seen that?
No, I have, but
Oh.
I was just like on Disney Plus. I'm like, you know what? I haven't watched Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for a little bit.
I like
But
the first
maybe-
movie. I've seen the other two only once. I don't remember anything.
I think I've only seen them like once too.
Yeah, Prince Caspian is the second one, and then the
Mhm.
third one's Voyager of the Dawn Treader or something like that. I had never
Yes.
read any of the books. I don't know anything about them really.
Oh, I read the books. That's a kid.
Supposedly, Netflix was in works to get rights so they could do their
Do a
own
show.
live action series.
I think
But I
you're
don't.
right.
I think that was like a rumor. I don't know if it was a thing or not, but
It's kind of
definitely-
hard now that when Disney bought it. Like, oh, well, no, that's always been a Disney movie, right?
Narnia.
Yeah. It wasn't like a Fox.
I don't know.
I'm
I
pretty
think-
sure it's always been Disney.
I think the line, like the Narnia, like what's the company, whatever
Mhm.
estate, it's been passed around.
Yeah, because there's an older one, like I think in the 80s and the 90s. I like
Yeah.
that one more, but I bet you it doesn't hold up.
But Liam Neeson as Aslan is pretty cool though.
True, but I feel like if they do it now, it would be even better because some of that animation doesn't.
Hey, for 2005,
No, I'm saying
It
it's
was really
good. I'm
good.
just saying it would be really, really good.
fun fact. Here's a trivia question for me.
Okay.
But
Oh.
the first Narnia movie, that was the first time I went to the movies with a lady friend. Just the two of us.
Ooh.
Back
It's not really
in
trivia, but
no, it's a fun fact about me. So maybe
Oh.
on a trivia question someday.
oh, gotcha. Gotcha what you mean. I remember that.
Back in 10th grade, I remember that.
Oh. GG.
Obviously, it
I
didn't
don't
work
know.
out. But yes, that's everything. Empire Radio. Go check us out. Follow us
Yes.
everywhere. If you haven't seen my reaction videos to the Visions episodes, go check that
They're
out.
still on YouTube.
Yep, I didn't get any copyright strikes, so we're good.
All
'Cause I
right.
know Drew is very scared that we're gonna get kicked off YouTube because of my reaction videos, but we're good.
But it's Visions.
Nobody's watching that. Nobody cares.
It's not as important. Like when we come to Ahsoka, we might have a little bit more issues, but
All right.
it should
Cool,
be fine.
cool. Well, you have been listening to another Visions-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah,
I'm Drew.
and may the Force be with you.
Always.